Today we're going to talk about how to add text, links, and images to your web pages. We're going to be learning the most commonly used HTML elements and how to write their tags. Text, links, and images. Most web pages consist of words, links, and images. So today we're going to talk about how to add words, links, and images to your pages. Make sure that you refer really closely to the examples and that you try them yourself. The first element I want you to know about is the paragraph element. You create a paragraph element by adding p tags to your page. Remember, anything you want the user to see goes within the body. What I've tried to do in this presentation is give you different graphical sort of clues as to where different elements and their tags go. So let's take a closer look at how to add a paragraph. So I've got a blank Mozilla Thimble window open, so I'm just going to demonstrate these tags for you. To add a paragraph to the page, you use the p tag. Remember, you need an opening and closing tag. Whatever you want to mark up, whatever content you want on the page, you are going to put between these tags. Notice how the ending tag has a slash. So I created a paragraph within the body, opening tag, closing tag, and between the start and end tag, I have once upon a time there was a dog named Duder. She had an awesome owner named James. Duder and James were the best of friends and did everything together. The next element we're going to talk about is the EM element. The EM element can be used to mark up text to make it emphasized. And when you want to emphasize something, it will show up as italic. So that's when it looks like it's leaning. Okay? So let's see what that looks like. So let's say I want to emphasize a word in my paragraph. I'm going to choose the word awesome. What I could do is I could wrap the word awesome in an EM tag. Remember, the content goes between the start and end tag. And over here you can see that this changed the word awesome to be italicized because I've emphasized it. If I want to mark a word or a phrase as having a strong importance, I can wrap it in the strong tags. This will effectively bold any of the content that I place between the opening strong and closing strong tag. So let's take a look at a couple of words I can give a strong importance in my paragraph. So names are a good thing to make strongly emphasized. And so I'm going to bold Duder, the name. And I'm also going to do the same thing for me, James, the name. Make sure your content is between the opening and closing tag. Remember, your closing tag has the slash, otherwise they're the same. So now I have once upon a time there was a dog named Duder. Duder's strong importance, so it comes up bold, and so is James. It's that simple. A very important type of text is headings. It's really hard to read a page that's just all very small words. Human beings need to be able to have things organized for them. And so there are different levels of headings that allow you to do that. There are 6 different sizes of headings. So an H1 is the largest tag, as you can see from the depiction here. H2 is the next smallest. H3 is the next smallest. H4 is the next smallest until you get all the way down to the smallest heading, which is H6. So remember, H1 is the largest. H6 is the smallest. And headings are meant to briefly describe the content on the page, such as the topic. Let's take a look at what that looks like. So let's say I want to add the largest heading I can to my page. All I have to do is create an H1 element with an H1 starting and ending tag, and then put my text within it. You will see very large text. So there we go. Now I have a great title for my story that really draws the viewer's attention. And let's say below that I want a subheading. I would choose one of the smaller headings. Remember, H1 is the largest and H6 is the smallest. I'm going to go somewhere in between. I'm going to choose an H3. And I'm going to give a synopsis of my story. And so I'm going to put that right before my paragraph. So as you can see, I have a big H1 heading. Notice how the headings by default are bold. And then I have a subheading that's smaller in H3, followed by a paragraph. One of the most common things you're going to want to put on a page is an image. You add images to an HTML page using the image element. The image element uses the IMG tag. I want to draw your attention to the upper right hand corner and the icons that I use. This right here means that the IMG tags need to go inside the body. And then you'll see I have a graphic that says void. And that is for any element that is void. Remember, a void element only needs a start tag. In this case, I have an image, and you'll notice it only has a start tag because image is a void element. Images are special types of elements because they require additional attributes in order to work. The web page needs to know where to find the image to present on the screen. You do that using the src attribute. If for some reason this image doesn't load, the text that I put for the alt attribute will show. So if for some reason this invisible bike image could not be loaded, the user will see the text invisible bike. You can place other important attributes in your IMG tag as well, such as width and height. Let's take a look at what this looks like. So beneath my story, I want to add an image. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my IMG, and then I'm going to provide the src attribute, which should be a path to an image that I can place on the screen. As you can see right here, this is my image of me and Duder. I'm going to go back, however, and I'm going to add some other attributes. For example, alt. Remember, alt stands for alternative text. This is what will show if the image for some reason doesn't load. I'm going to say Duder and her owner, James. Now, let's say I made a typo in here. Notice how it couldn't find the image to load, and so instead it showed the alternative text that says Duder and her owner, James. All right, let's go ahead and put that back. That looks great. Other thing you can do, you can add a title attribute. Have you ever wondered where the text comes from when you hover over an image? Well, in most browsers, it comes from setting this title attribute in the beginning of the IMG tag. So now, if I hover over it, it will show me the text that I set for the title attribute, James and Duder. Perhaps the most important thing that you can put on a web page is called a hyperlink. So hyperlinks basically link pages and resources together. They're the things on the page that you can click on and it'll take you places that you want to go. To add a hyperlink to your page, you use the A tag. So what you will see here is you'll see there's a starting A tag and a closing A tag, and it is wrapping this content. By wrapping this content, this text becomes clickable and normally has this look right here where it becomes blue and underlined, although you can control that. You will notice that there are a couple of attributes. href is the location that you want to link to, and then target refers to where to open it up. Target blank basically means open up a new browser tab and go to this link inside that browser tab. Sometimes you'll be on a page and you'll click on a link and it'll be super annoying because it'll actually override the window that you're viewing the page in. So by using the target attribute, you can control that. And just like anything, this is best described with an example. So we're going to add a hyperlink to this page. Remember, to add a hyperlink, we want to use the A tag. Okay, this is called an anchor. So I start with my opening A, and I need to provide href, which is the attribute which specifies what do I want to link to. I'm going to link to my website so that if people want to know more about Duder's owner, they can simply click on a link. So href is where do you want to link to? And then there's another attribute that's important to put in the start tag called target. You'll notice that there's a couple of different options here. Blank, parent, self, top. This all refers to the window that this link is opened in. I want to use blank because I want to keep this window open and I want it to open a new one for me. So I need to put some text within the start and closing tag because there needs to be something to click on. So I'm going to put in the text, click here. And then outside the tag, I can put some other stuff to learn more about James. And let's say I want to put all of this inside a paragraph. Why not? I'll wrap this entire bit of content within a paragraph. Remember, you can wrap tags around one another. So there we are. I have a paragraph. There is an anchor right here that says click here to learn more about James. All right. Now let's test the link. If everything is working as it should, I should be able to click on this link and it'll take me to colestock.com, which it does. And it did it in a new browser tab. So it didn't overwrite the window I was working in. And we got that by using target equals blank. All right. A lot of people think that the only thing that you can use for links is text. But what's cool about the anchor tag is that you can wrap it around other things. In this example, I have wrapped an image with an anchor tag. And what that does is it makes this image clickable. When I hover over the image, it'll normally show me what looks like a little hand, and that tells me that I can click on the image. So remember, you can make hyperlinks out of not just text, but images. All you have to do is wrap your content, whether it be an image or text, in an anchor, just like you see here. We also talked about how important this target attribute is for hyperlinks. What happens when you use target equals blank is that somebody clicks on a hyperlink and it will open up a new tab instead of overriding the existing tab. So you can control how these resources that you're linking to are displayed by using this critical target attribute. By default, however, it will override the existing browser window. So you want to make sure that you use this when you want to preserve the existing window. Okay, as always, make sure you go back and you look at the presentation that matches this video. I want you to go to the HTML element reference and I want you to look up paragraph, image, hyperlink. I want you to look at headings, strong importance, emphasis. Make sure you know how to use these tags to add those types of elements to your web pages. And last but not least, make sure you complete your Mozilla Thimble Challenge. There is a tutorial that guides you through. This will give you valuable practice using the elements that you've learned today and the tags that are used to put them on the page.